What is going on, my beautiful people? This is Julian checking in with Julez World, episode 2. So if you've already liked and subscribed, just hit that notification at the top right hand corner, just to ring a bell every time I get a new video out to you. Just want to make sure nobody's missing out on no valuable information or anything of that nature. However, let's get right into it. So today was a very hard day to get through today. A lot of what was going on was a lot of difficulties with people understanding. Now, granted, for what I do for work, I try to emphasize what I actually do. Once again, I'm a account reps for a furniture company, and what I do is I basically try to get in contact with the customers that have not yet paid a bill. Now, when I mean by trying to contact them, I mean it's only a voice conversation that I have to get on the phone. So sometimes people will send you to voicemail. Some people may send you to well, in our instance, at my job, I would have to go do what we call a field visit. Now, the field visit is basically a interaction with the customer out at their home, right? Very risky business here. Certain neighborhoods, certain places, not everybody would feel comfortable going to. But I've been doing this for I don't know how many years now between companies that I have worked for, and it just, doesn't really faze me nor bother me. A lot of people who try to avoid confrontation tend to not like to do what it is that I do. I mean, confrontation is nothing but, the aggressor's point of view of things, if you may. But nonetheless, back to the situation at hand. When I try to contact certain people, the amount of excuses that come up when it comes to paying a bill. Now, I learned how to pay a bill at a very young age. I learned how to make sure that my responsibilities and things that I needed to get taken care of were taken care of first before anything else, right? So not everybody has that same mindset. Not everybody has the same idea of, let me go ahead and knock my bills out so I don't have to worry about them. Yes, I'm gonna be broke, but you don't owe nobody nothing. You don't owe nobody a payment. You don't owe nobody no money. You know what I'm saying? It gives you a sigh of relief to say, you know what? I'm broke, but I don't have to worry about how I'm going to pay this person. So, story at hand, the amount of excuses that I hear, it's unbelievable. I'm pretty sure some of you who are in the same profession or people who do similar things to what I do, whether you work at a bank, whether you work at another furniture company or a rent-to-own company, any type of company that you have to chase people after a payment for, the amount of excuses that you hear from these people, sometimes it's unbearable. it's unbearable. Where the fuck did that word come from? It is unbearable to try to stomach certain things and certain shit that the people come up with. What bothered me was catching the customer in a lie. Catching somebody in a lie. Forget about the fact that they're a customer. Just catching them in a lie. The amount of shit and the amount of work that it takes to keep up with a lie is crazy. But to run into these people after they done told you a lie is crazy. It's crazy to me. So something as simple as saying, hey, I can't make it up there to make a payment because my car broke down. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, your car's broke down. I offer extra services for my customers. I'll ask them if they need me to come pick it up, whatever the case may be. And certain, they appreciate the help. But you have certain customers that will tell you that same thing and then turn around and you see them up the road in their car that they said that they broke down in, or that it doesn't start. So I guess, and that's just the one out of the many examples I may have. It's just getting down to your responsibilities. I understand that it was just a new year. I understand that Christmas was not too long ago. So a lot of people bank their money on non-essential things that they felt they rightfully deserved, which you do. I'm not going to say that your light bill or your car note or your anything is worth your happiness. Like if you're trying to do certain things like that, I know with my customers and the people that genuinely understand where I'm coming from is communicate that fact, because 9 times out of 10, a lot of people, they will work with you, right? So I think the thing that pissed me off the most is the way I present myself is in a manner where I'm willing to help you, but the moment I feel like you're not caring is where it sort of gets drawn back to me. Like, I can help you, but I'm not going to do it for you. You understand what I'm? So when I think about these things, and when I try to think to myself, okay, I'm helping this customer, I'm trying to make sure that they can get past whatever situation at hand. To read that, the whole aspect of how I found out was I was on my lunch break, and I was trying to go grab some food for my wife. And as I'm driving, I don't think they noticed me, but I definitely noticed them. And I saw them in the car right next to me, jamming out, having a good time, blase, blase, blah. And it took everything in my power not to call them out on the bullshit at hand, like not to get on their ass about that fucking lie that they just told me. But then I thought to myself, okay, you know what you know, be professional. When you get back to the store, you handle your business, right? So it took everything out of me, because I then called the customer. I'm like, hey, I got with my boss. He said there is no way that we can accept your payment at a later time, unfortunately. So the one of the two options would be either return or give back the services that we've provided for you, or make a payment. Another thing that pisses me off so much, and let me just throw it out there, I work for a rent-to-own company, as in furniture, as in electronics, as anything you can physically use in your house, kitchen appliances, everything, refrigerator, stove, even something as small as a microwave, you name it. But when you're renting out something that's a non-essential item, a video game, a TV, just anything that has nothing to do with your way of life. Like, you can live without a TV, you can live without a PlayStation, you can live without an Xbox, you can live without a computer. You can't live without a fridge, you can't live without a bed. I mean, you can technically, but I consider beds, appliances, anything furniture, appliances, and anything that doesn't you don't necessarily need for enjoyment, is what I consider an essential item. You need to cook, you need to keep your food cool, you need to make sure your ass has somewhere to sleep. There's just so many things. And naturally, if I have to go after somebody over money that they owe over a non-essential item, I start to look at these people like, bro, you would rather hold on to a PlayStation, hurt your credit, hurt your history, hurt your anything that has to say about you, your judgment, everything, over the fact that you want to play a video game. I would try to work with you harder over an essential item than a video game any day. So for people who think that's more important to hold on to a video game, especially when you can't afford it, it's crazy to me. It is so crazy to me how much stress and aggravation you're gonna go through to try to duck me from recovering merchandise that you did not pay for. Some people rather get arrested. Some people, they'd rather go through a bunch of nonsense. So, just a matter at hand of taking care of your responsibilities, topic of all subjects, whether it comes to enjoyments, things that you may want, things that you need to enjoy yourself. I mean, it's all great and that's dandy and whatnot, but are you really going to pay for something that you can't afford? How? If I got, for argument's sake, $50 left in my pocket, and I know I still got to eat, and I know that throughout the day, I have a vehicle, it's going to need gas. If I only got $50 left in my pocket, I'd rather go broke over food, bills, and how I'm going to get myself back and forth to work. Those are the only three things that I would not give a damn how much money I have left in my pocket over. Because at the end of the day, once again, beginning statements may be, make sure that your essentials are taken care of over the things that you want. There is no need to chase over something that's going to be there at a later time if you save up for it, if you decide to dedicate your next paycheck where you don't have as many bills to that particular thing. But don't go and cut your nose to spite your face to make sure that you get something you don't necessarily need and go broke over it. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. But still, trying to trying to chase after it, and just trying to get people to understand that, it's not the end of the world if you can't get something you want right there in that moment. It's not the end of the world. You'll be able to recover from that. You'll be able to get back on your feet to the things that you enjoy. These things are not going to go away. Yes, they may update. You may have a better version later down in the line, but it's not going nowhere. You're always going to be able to find a video game. You're always going to be able to find, just things to do that, unfortunately, it changes. Everything changes. But you have to make sure you stay on top of your responsibilities before anything, especially the grown-ass men out there. Like, you can't sit here and say you're trying to provide for your family, but then spend your last $10 on, weed, fucking anything that has nothing to do with helping the people around you. You know what I'm saying? My father used to tell me, like, he used to get, I could tell that he used to get a little bit upset. He used to get a little bit upset because there was times where I was younger, maybe in my mid-teens, early adulthood, whatever the case. I used to walk in a house with, and mind you, in my household, I had 2 sisters, my mother, my father, and everybody loved to drink their own shit. Everybody liked to eat their own things. But when it came down to it, he broke down the math for me one day. He was like, listen, you spent $1.75 on that Pepsi. If you would have spent the extra 15 cents, you could have got yourself a 2-liter. Not only that, but you're coming in here drinking this and drinking that without providing for everybody else. Now, some people will be like, well, as long as you're worried about yourself, what does it matter? Look at the bigger picture here. Look at the bigger picture. You spent X and X amount of money on something a little smaller than what a bigger thing or a bigger size could have got you. Not only that, but you're only showing that you're thinking about yourself. In certain aspects of life, it's always suggested to think about yourself when it comes to certain things, but when it comes to your family and when it comes to the things that you like, there's other people who like the same shit. But my dad used to voice the opinion of, listen, I get stuff for the house, I get juices, I get sodas, I get things to snack on, I get things for all of that, but it's for everybody. It's not just for me. So over the years, trying to understand that, the first example came where I bought a Pepsi for $1.75, and then I went back into the store after that statement, and then I saw that the 2 liters were only like $2.20, $2.15, whatever the case may be back then. And mind you, this was in New York, the most expensive fucking state to live in. But this is the factor at hand, is like you're using your money thinking about yourself, number one, and number two, you're undervaluing the value of a dollar. Try to make sure that you get the most out of what you're spending. So if you're getting a little 1 liter, little bottle of soda, or a 12 ounce, whatever the hell it is, just get a 2 liter for an extra 20 cents. You know what I'm saying? It makes perfect sense. But still, another, key value is the food situation. Like, not even the fact of getting for others, but just letting somebody know what your next movement is when it comes to eating or drinking, living in a household. Like, being selfish and just thinking about yourself and copying yourself 2 slices of pizza and bringing it to your room and eating it by yourself. Like, what if somebody else was thinking the same idea and was like, listen, I'll chip in for you and get yourself a little bigger of a size so you can share with everybody. That's moral of the story, I guess. But looking at it, I think the understanding is realizing that these small little values, as far as responsibilities and as far as taking care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else before you take care of yourself. But there's certain things that you got to be mindful of. There's certain things that you got to try to grasp the understanding that, there's certain things to be selfish with, and there's certain things that you shouldn't. I've never been brought up to be a selfish person. Do I have selfish moments? Absolutely. Just like everybody else. You'd prefer to have it for yourself and not share it with anybody. But it all falls down to the factor of how much you're willing to contribute to that factor. You know what I mean? So if you want to have enough for yourself, just make sure you get enough to where that portion for yourself, you have it. You know what I mean? Being a married man, me and my wife go back and forth with this all the time as far as thinking about the other person when it comes to certain things that she may cook or certain things that if I want to take out, knowing what it is that I like or what I don't like or whatever the case. And I go back and forth with her sometimes, because sometimes I don't want the same shit I got the last time, or I don't want the same stuff that I always get every time you order from this place. Maybe it's something different. And I try to get her to understand that I can't assume, but I will willingly get more of whether somebody likes it or not. Like, I grew up to where if my parents cooked something, and let's say if I didn't like it, they always had, all right, well, you don't like this, well, go there, heat up a Hot Pocket, or go in there and make a peanut butter and jelly. There was always something to eat that I did enjoy, but they never forced me to eat what it was that they cooked. So, in mindset, I grew up saying, hey, well, if you don't like it, we'll eat something else. Or if you don't like it, starve. You know what I mean? It was just a source of a joke, but naturally they always had something else for somebody to eat. You know what I mean? It was never singled down to that one thing. So I try to distill that, and I think my wife is grasping the understanding that it's not that I don't genuinely think about it. It's just something to where if I'm going out to get, Burger King, I'll go and get a value pack to where it's like 2 burgers, 2 fries, whatever the case may be, just so that way everybody can eat. My concentration is making sure that everybody can eat. And these are the values that my parents have taught me. But getting back to the factor at hand here is that taking care of your responsibilities and making sure that you don't cut your nose to spite your face. Like, there's so many things that have to go into this. And I just want everybody to understand that, when somebody's coming down on you, as far as your responsibilities are concerned, don't take it as a grain of salt. Don't take it as somebody trying to come after you because you're not doing what it is you're supposed to. You may be still learning. You may be in this phase of just worrying about yourself. And it's always awesome to worry about yourself, but just remember that the people that you have beside you, just make sure that they understand that their attention and their contribution to a lot of the things that you're trying to succeed with, you let them understand that, it's appreciated. But, just taking care of your responsibilities, taking care of the people you love, it speaks volumes, bro. It speaks volumes, and it shows integrity within one person. Like, it shows what you're about, and it shows how you present yourself. But dealing with these customers, bro, they think that they can feed you a lie and then think you'll never find out about it. I think that people don't think that far ahead on, oh, he'll never find out this. No, he'll never find out that. Like, I leave my store. Like, I leave my department to be able to go visit certain people who don't pay their bills. And it's like, when I catch you lying to me full-fledged, I'd rather you just say, listen, I fucked off the money that I was supposed to give you. Can I double up next payment? Is there anything I can do? Like, none of that. You just continue to lie, and then you'll say, oh, well, I'll get your money when I get your money. I mean, I hope people can understand that that's not how shit works. That's not how shit works at all. You go and put a card through financing plans. The moment you don't make that payment, they're going to try to contact you. And if they can't contact you, they're coming to get their shit. And that's just a factor at hand. I don't understand what the complication is on trying to understand that until you fully pay something off, it does not belong to you. It doesn't belong to you. Majority of these companies will treat the transaction as if you rented the shit. Think about it. It's like having a mortgage. You have a mortgage, yeah, the house is yours, it's in your name, but you still owe the bank that money for that mortgage. What makes you think that house belongs to you if you do not have a title of something that represents that this shit belongs to you? At my job, I give what we call a transfer of title. Transfer of title just means that whatever merchandise that you got from us, or whatever merchandise you're paying for, I'm giving you permission, and I'm also giving you the credibility, and I'm also giving you the stamped documentation that says this shit belongs to you. That's how I function. That's how we do it. We don't try to mishap. And naturally, when you go into a rent-to-own business or you go into any places, you're gonna wind up putting more money into that merchandise or more money into whatever it is you're trying to get than what it's actually worth. So if you see a PlayStation 5 in the store for $499.99, best believe you walk into a rent-to-own company, you're gonna be paying $7 to $8 to $9, almost over $1,000, depending on what the merchandise is. For that same value, you could have went to Walmart. These places are not here for you to get shit for the cheap. These places are here for you to try to make payments and pay the shit off slowly. You know what I'm saying? They have to make their money somehow. You have to understand that these people are going to add on interest. These people are going to add on any type of fee they can. You know, if you make your payment late, you're paying extra money towards a late fee. For what? Not all your money is going straight towards the principal. And we got to keep that in mind. We got to try to understand that whatever system is built for you to try to get stuff that you can't willingly afford at that moment in time, this is what these places are here for. You know, you can't try to dick over people and think that you're going to come up with a lie to get them off your back for a second, because next time they come after you, it's going to be 10 times worse. You're going to get a knock on your door, or you're going to get a letter in the mail stating that if you don't return or make a payment for any type of things that you possess that you haven't fully paid for, it's out of whoever it is you got it from's hands at this point. Now you got yourself in a up in the ranks type of situation to where it becomes a legal matter. And when it becomes a legal matter, now not only are you dealing with this company that you took from, but now you're dealing with the courts and the judge. And for what? For what? If you can't afford it, return the shit. That's as simple as it gets. It's as simple as it gets. Yes. Does it fuck with your pride at the end of the day? Yes. Do you feel like it's embarrassing to have to admit to these people that you can't afford it at this point in time? Listen, in a part of this business, I will be the first one to say I understand. Number one, because I've been in that point. And number two, I've heard a lot of shit that genuinely people go through, you know, but people can't help you if you don't know about it. If they don't know about it, excuse me. People cannot help you if they don't know about it. You know, I tell my customers this all the time. I can't be held accountable if your account goes past due, because it's your responsibility to call me and say, hey, I'm going to be a little messed up this week. Well, hey, I'm going to be a little bit messed up this month. Whatever the case may be, nobody will ever help you if they don't know about it. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not the mind reader. I'm not going to be sitting here being like, yo, you know, what's wrong with you? What's the problem? Nope. I do not give that type of attention, because when I give that type of attention, it means that I can now fall gullible to your situation. And that sort of puts a responsibility in me that I don't need, because I'm not going to try to be responsible for somebody else's shit. Can I help you? Yeah, I'll help you. But am I going to do it for you? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So just getting the understanding, once again, if you owe it, pay it. There's no sense to sit here and linger on that shit. There's no sense to sit here and try to, you know, try to beat any system that you think you can beat, because what is in the dark will always come out in the light. There is no sense in ducking the problems. Short and simple. Try to make sure that you keep it honest with the people that will try to help you. If it's not, you know, people that you have bills through, you know, if it's a car note, anything, just talk to the people. Let them tell you what your options are. With car notes, it's a little different from where I work. See, me personally, I tell my customers full blown, you are not obligated to keep anything that you cannot afford. As long as it comes back in my possession, is as long as you no longer have to pay for it. It's as simple as that. So for all of you out there who are dealing with a situation where people think that things belong to them because you let them hold on to it longer than what they were supposed to, nip it in the ass. Don't let nobody take advantage of you, especially if it involves money. If it involves tender that the U.S. government has provided for you, do not take that shit lightly. I don't care if it's personal. I don't care if it's business. See, with my job, they like the way I function, because I treat any piece of merchandise that I put out there in the field as my own. I treat these people as if they're taking from me, not that they're taking from a company. So when I do it in that manner, it sort of shifts my mind into, you need to act like this PS5 is yours, or you need to act like that stove is yours, or you need to act like that washer and dryer is yours. And you're trying to recover your money or your merchandise. And that's how I look at it. Stemming down to my personal life. Like in my personal life, if I was to ever to do a favor for anybody, whether it's money, whether it's time, whether it's service, those three things I always contribute in my life. My time, my money, and my service. I will always, if somebody needs it, listen, I'll let you hold it. If you need a favor, pay me back, no problem. I will never stay on top of you about things that I have done for you already. So for example, if you ask me for a $20 bill and I give you that $20 bill, I'm not going to sit here and press you over that $20 bill. Why? Because if you ever come to me again after not paying me my $20 back, if you ever come back to me and say, hey, can I borrow this? Can I borrow that? No. You want to know why? Because you owe me $20 and still have not paid me back. So you think I'm going to let you borrow this and borrow that, or borrow, shit that I have in my house, whatever. I'm not going to let you borrow anything because you already voided my trust in you the moment you decided you weren't going to pay me back. As sucky as that may sound, it's the truth. How can I trust you when I couldn't trust you for $20? Technically, when people do me like that, I used to burn them off. I used to burn them off and never speak to these people again, because at the end of the day, great quote from The Bronx Tale, that sometimes it costs you that much to get toxic people out of your life. You understand what I'm saying? Like sometimes it takes, donating that little bit of time and then you never see them again. Or sometimes it takes donating that little bit of money and then you never see them again. If you never see them again, you just paid a debt to whoever it is it belonged to get these people out of your life. Think about it. Think about it in a manner where it costed that much to no longer associate yourself with people or time or investment that you made a bad investment in. That's all it stems down to, is just bad investments. As long as you're making bad investments, you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn. And trust me, not every investment is a good one. So it'll definitely stem down to the situation at hand. But I sort of just wanted to voice that situation and just voice my perception on responsibility from what I understand. And that's always making sure that people understand where you're coming from. People understand that, it's not the end of the world if one responsibility gets lacked up. As long as your intentions are to catch up on it, and as long as your intentions is to do right and make sure you get shit squared away, I don't see there being a problem. I don't see there being a problem at all. But I just wanted to come in here and share that experience with you guys today. First real, genuine vlog took 27, almost a half an hour. So once again, I wanted you to sort of take the time with me and just realize that it's a whole nother ballpark out there. It's a whole nother situation with the type of situations that a lot of people are going through. So I just wanted to put it out there as my personal experience, just to let you guys know what actually happened and how I came across this particular situation as far as the factor of responsibilities go. Hopefully it helps a lot of you. Hopefully people can get an understanding of what people in the rent-to-own business actually go through with certain situations. Like I said, it's not the end of the world. I got through my day. I mean, this person will wind up learning the hard way, but still, be honest, be genuine with what you do, and make sure your integrity is higher and up there. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe down low. Go ahead and leave a comment, leave a like, share. Get these notifications too, so that way you can actually catch gist of when I drop my new videos, everything of that nature. Once again, just wanted to thank you all for tuning in with me. And it's Julian, another episode of Julez World. You don't know now, you know now. Like and subscribe. Appreciate it.